Hi guys, it's me. Sorry for that little escapade, but I want to share a quick tip with you today. A lot of times you can get lots of inspiration from magazines, and I know you can cut out pages and that kind of thing, but one thing that I like to do is actually use the colors from a page to inspire my palette or to make an art journal page with, or a piece of art, and it's really simple to do. So we're going to use this Oprah cover as our inspiration. So here I see like kind of this like melonish lime color that's kind of dull. I see a really bright, beautiful yellow. I see a coral color. I see kind of a reddish orange color here. I see kind of a tannish color. And then I see hints of pink and kind of dulled yellow, and a little bit darker of a mint green. So I could take things from this magazine and make my own palette. So it's really interesting. Okay, so I'm going to kind of set that over here. So what I have here is I just picked out a selection of my Deco Arts paints that I think would go well with this practice. So I'm going to turn to a blank page in my art journal. And I did the same thing with this kind of, let me show you, with this page too that I'm turning to. There was a page that I saw that had all these colors in it, and I really liked it, so I kind of put them together and see how they interact with each other. Okay, so let's start like with the minty color. So this is actually really close to this color here. I might add a little bit of white, but I don't really even think that it needs it. So we can put that right down on our palette, and I'll tell you the name in a second. So this is the Deco Arts Americana acrylic paint in Lemonade. So it's a really pretty color. Okay, and then the coral color, I think that that's really close to the coral on there. So we can just use that straight out of the bottle. It looks like maybe they brightened it up with a little bit of orange, so we could also do that too. And this is actually the terracotta coral, but I do have an actual coral color too that I could use, but I really kind of like this terracotta one. I think it'll be really pretty. Oh no. See, and this is kind of the coral color. So let's use the actual coral color. If you don't have to mix them, then don't. You know, it's okay. And I'm just putting a little bit of pink down because I'm just going to have a play. And then we can do our bright yellow. Okay. And then I'm going to do this pink. This is petal pink. So it's kind of a pastel pink, kind of like that. But I am going to add some white paint to it. And you can add white or black to kind of change the value or the hue of your paint. So that's kind of an interesting thing to do. And sometimes don't be afraid to mix the colors if you need to. Sorry, I'm trying to do this sizing here. Oops, come on now. Why are you getting stuck in there? It's giving me a hard time. There we go. Just love to, don't you? Okay. There we go. Okay. Oops. Well, that's on the brush. That's all right. We're going to put it right in the water. Okay, and then finally, let's maybe do this orangish color that she has. It's like an orangish red color. So we can go in and do that too. So let's just add some orange. It's mostly red, but there is, I think actually it's mostly orange with a little bit of red. And this is really good to help you see color in an interesting way, because many times we don't see the colors that are underneath in other colors. So this is a really good practice if you're having problems with color studies and you just don't know how to make color work. This is a really good practice that I teach my students to do. Okay, so let's just grab a brush here. This one is really hard, so that probably needs to go back in my water. Let's try just one of these guys. Okay, so let's mix this together first and kind of get as close as I can to that kind of color. So if I put those together, it's really close, but I think I could even use a little bit more orange. So I'm going to add a little bit of orange. Oh yeah, that's it. Okay, so let's put that down. Now you could do this in any sort of way. You could do circles. I'm going to kind of do blocks of color. So I'm going to just go in right with my brush. It doesn't have to be neat. I just kind of want the colors to be next to each other. And then I'm going to go in a little bit further and I'm going to put a dash of color just right down. Okay, like that. Okay, so that's good there. Okay, then we can grab another brush or we can clean off our brushes. I tend to be a clean off brush girl just because I'm lazy and I like to clean as little brushes as I possibly can. So that's why I do that. But you probably don't have to do that. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Let's go in. I have my paper towel here. Okay. Let's grab another brush here. Do this one. Okay. And then let's do kind of this pastel color, but I am going to add a little bit of white because that's really a very pastel kind of pink. So I know if I add white to it, it's going to take away the little bit of brightness that that color does have and take down the value a little bit. Okay, so that's much closer to that color there. Okay, perfect. And I'm going to start by just putting just kind of a slash of color down. Okay, and then I'm going to go in and just do a very simple line of color right there, just like that. Alrighty. Alrighty, let's grab another brush. Alrighty, so let's do this coral color, which is really close to that one. Like I said, it's a little bit brighter, a little bit more pink actually. So if I wanted to, I could go into my pink a little bit too. Oh yeah, and that kind of brightens it up a little bit. So we can go in and add a little bit of pink. I might have to add more pink too. I don't think I did enough, and then I had it sitting around here too. It's not very helpful. Okay, yeah, okay. We can add a little bit of water too. That will help kind of spread our paint around a little bit. So I can go in and just do some dashes here. And this paper is not gessoed, so that's probably contributing a little bit to the problem too. Okay, so you can stick that in there. Let's grab another brush. Let's do kind of this green color. I think it's fine just straight from the bottle. So let's do our dashes first. And I'm not really thinking about a pattern right now. I'm just kind of, let me wet that a little bit. I'm just kind of playing with my colors a bit. And if it makes an interesting pattern, that's fine. But right now I'm just kind of playing with the colors, okay? Then we'll wet this a little bit. We'll go in with our yellow, but the yellow is, if I do this yellow, then that's fine because it's really bright. But if I want to add, if I want to get like this yellow from the boxes, that I can add white to and get kind of a different tone. So I'm going to go in just straight with that beautiful straight yellow and go in and do some dashes too. Alrighty, but I am going to add just a little bit of white. Okay. And that gives me pretty darn close to that really pastel yellowish color. Okay, and then I can go in and do a few dashes of color too. Just like that. Okay, perfect. And then I can, you know, pick other colors that I'm kind of inspired by. You don't have to do the entire page of color. You know, like this is just playing and having a good time. Now I am going to do kind of this beigeish color here because I think that'd be really pretty in contrast of this color palette. If I was using it, I'd like that kind of tan color. So this is Deco Arts Desert Sand is what color I'm using, and I will tell you the name of all of these in case you wanted to use this color palette. I forgot to do that part, but we can definitely do it. Okay, perfect. Let's just grab a new brush here. Wet our brush just a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to go in and just do a whole nice little block of color here. And if I wanted to, I could add a little bit of white to this to lighten it up a little bit. But I don't think so. I think that's pretty close to the tone. And you can change the values too. Like if I wanted this to be a deeper color, then I would add a little bit of black. But it just shows you just how you can use your paints in kind of an interesting way. So I do love it. Okay, just like that. So that's great right there. Perfect. And I'm going to tell you the names of the paints. So I use my Deco Arts Americana Desert Sand. That's that color. And also this color. See? And I just, so see? And then I use I didn't use this color. And I told you about the lemonade. So Deco Art Americana Lemonade. Then I use these two together. So this is Deco Arts Americana Cinnamon Drop, which is a really pretty, it's a really beautiful red. And then I did the Deco Arts Americana Bright Orange. So that's the way that looks. And then I did the Deco Arts Americana Coral color. So that's a really pretty corally color. And then I did the Deco Arts Americana Bright Yellow. And then I have a Traditions paint. So I use Deco Arts Traditions. This is an artist grade acrylic paint, but I really love the white. It's so pretty. And it's in titanium white. So just from those colors, we can get so much variation. And I would never go like to my palette and look these up, but the magazine kind of does the work for you. So you can do the same thing with any type of page that you can find in a magazine. It's just fabulous, and it's a great practice if you have problems seeing color, because you can actually match them to the magazine. So I just love it, and it's a great way to use in your art journal. And I can go back in here and doodle and make marks and stuff like that. So I mean, we could pick another page too. We're not going to do that now, but if you guys like this, let me know and we will. So this one would be really interesting because really you have the swatches here, and then you could go in and just pick the colors that you like that kind of speak to you, and that would be an absolutely beautiful color palette to use in your art journal or in a piece of art. Okay, so hopefully you guys are inspired. If you have any tips for how you use magazines in interesting ways or how you get inspiration for color palettes, I'd love to hear it in the comments below. I'll see you guys later. Have a wonderful day. Bye.